Hi, I'm Bob Daves, and I want to take a few minutes here to kind of introduce myself to you. You've been watching several videos about what I'm currently doing right now. But let me explain to you where I've come from. My childhood's nothing remarkable. I was born in North Carolina. When I was born, my dad worked in cotton mill. My mother was a stay-at-home mom, worked part-time here and there. But the thing about it is, until I was about 6 years old, nothing special, lower middle class household, dad worked third shift, slept during the daytime, so I had to be real quiet. But later on, about when I was about 6 years old, mom and dad separated. And that it led to the adventure of my first road trip. Mom went to live with her cousin in Haines City, Florida. So I got to get on Trailways bus, and Lord knows I can't remember how long it took to get down here. But anyway, we lived down there for a while. I learned that you can take insect repellent to school because you had to fight the mosquitoes off. But later on, we moved back to North Carolina. I went and lived with Dad for a while. Dad found out that you can't raise three kids in one household, Grandma and Grandpa, and your uncle all living under the same roof. It was a bit much for Grandma. So I went back and lived with Mom. Mom and Dad both remarried. Mom married my stepfather, and he had three boys and one girl. My dad remarried and had one. My stepmother had a son. Later on, my baby sister came along. But the thing about it was, we weren't his kids, her kids. They were our kids. And the thing about it is, my first stepfather kind of put the entrepreneurial bug in my ear because what happened was he got us all push mowers. And we used to go around the neighborhood, knock on people's doors, ask them if we could mow their grass. Can you imagine a 9-year-old with a lawnmower? Today, that's unheard of. But anyhow, we learned to mow grass in the summertime, rake leaves in the winter or in the fall, and then shovel snow in the winter. So when I was 16, I moved back in with my dad, and ended up after about a year of that moving in with my grandparents, and that's how I finished up my high school. So once I kind of completed my education, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. So what I ended up doing was I joined the United States Air Force, and I spent 7 years on active duty, a year in the Air National Guard, became an E5 staff sergeant when I got out. Um, but I was an aircraft mechanic, and then later on I became a squadron resource advisor. So I'm proud to say I served my military. So while I was in the military, I got married. I had two wonderful children. I affectionately tell my kids they're military brats. My daughter Miranda was born in Homestead at the Air Force Base in Homestead. My son was born at Shaw Air Force Base in South Carolina. My first wife and I, we got a divorce. I got physical custody of the kids. And so therefore, military life and single parenthood, they don't mix. So I got out of the military, went to work in radio, and I did that for about 10 or 15 years, worked primarily small, medium market stations. After a while, I discovered the money was not bad, but it had no benefits. We had no health insurance. I had no retirement. Because, see, I was educated that you studied hard, got good grades, got a good education, go out and work for the next 40 years. So I went to work for what we affectionately say in the radio business. I went and got me a straight job. The money was good, had benefits, health insurance, things like that. So I did that for the next 35 years. I worked in sales management, sales training. And then about 3 years ago, my last job I was working, and it's kind of important because it sets up what I'm doing today. I was traveling about 240 days a year. I was a sales trainer. I taught people how to sell extended service contracts. But on Monday morning, I get on an airplane, get my car, go somewhere, work till Friday, come home, wash, dry my clothes, pack them back up. Monday, I was either on a plane or in my car going somewhere. 3 years ago, my wife wanted me to come off the road. She said she had had enough of it. So I did, and I decided to go to work for myself. So I became a certified coach, teacher, and speaker of the John Maxwell team. I coach people. I taught small, medium-sized businesses how to take their managers, make them effective leaders, and things like that. And then about a year ago, a friend of mine who I belonged to the Chamber of Commerce with, Dave Duhamel, said, "Hey, Bob, you got to have this great, wonderful new app I've got." I said, what does it do? He says, helps you find the best price on stuff you're buying anyway. So you put it on my phone. I come home, put it on my wife's phone. After a couple of weeks, we found out we were saving a lot of money. The average person that uses this app saves between $150 and $300 a month on stuff they're buying anyway. So I know Dave well. I said, Dave, how are you making money at this? He said, Bob, if the person actively uses the app, guess what? I get paid for it. I said, what does it cost to get in? He explained it to me. He said, here's what you need to do to get started. So I did. So now I've combined my love of the things that I've learned from John Maxwell and the business principles of the business with a mobile app, and I've combined them. What I do now is I help people break away from their paycheck in a low risk, high reward manner. See, the biggest thing is when you become an entrepreneur is it's a completely different mindset. See, right now you've got a paycheck. Here's the deal though. You go to work on Monday, work till Friday, they give you a paycheck. Guess what? On Monday you got to do it all over again. The business concept that I use, you do the work once and you get paid over and over and over again. So listen, here's what I want you to do. There's a video right down here below me. What I want you to do is watch the video. If you decide that Bob can help me become a successful entrepreneur with a business concept you're going to look down there at, you're on your way to becoming an entrepreneur. No longer will you have to live the lifestyle of a paycheck. You can live the lifestyle of a residual income. So watch this, and then I'll get back with you.